Comic-Con getting underway tomorrow, and nobody can deny it's a branding opportunity for San Diego with over 130,000 attendees and national attention to the events. The question is, what kind of economic impact does it have? Miro Copic with Bottom Line Marketing joins us now on the KOGO News Live Line. Comic-Con obviously brings a great economic benefit to the area, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
How big?
This year, it's expected to be over $150 million. Last year was about $135 million, so a nice lift. And of that money, about $80 million is direct spend on the convention itself, and the remainder is overall throughout the county.
Well, I walk around when Comic-Con is going on, and I can just see everybody in costume walking into the businesses. I'm sure the people in the area are just thrilled to death to have it down there.
Oh, it's phenomenal. If you look at the direct spend, that's about $615 per person of the projected attendees. And so it's an important impact on the businesses of San Diego.
Now, is it important? I always think about the Chamber of Commerce when we have some big event, an all-star game here. Now we have Comic-Con this week. How does it do for us as far as a tourist reputation?
Well, there's a couple of fronts. It's very important as a tourist reputation because it's one of the few of the 66 conventions that occur in San Diego that occurred last year. This convention itself represented 25% of the attendance of all those 66 conventions. So, and it's a consumer-oriented convention. Everything else is more of a business-to-business convention. It is huge. And the important thing is because now the studios, the television networks descend on San Diego, we become an international media-focused hub during this convention. So it makes San Diego not only broad from a U.S. perspective, but important from an international perspective.
And I know that we have this conversation a lot here in San Diego about whether or not the convention center needs to be expanded. I know Comic-Con has mentioned that they are looking for a bigger facility as well. That would really hurt us if they left.
It's interesting. It represents 25% of the attendance of the conventions of last year. So 66 conventions, one represented 25%. That's a huge impact. Number two, the revenue that it brings is as much as the next three largest conventions combined. So Comic-Con would be a huge loss, and thankfully the city and the organizers agreed to extend the deal through 2018, but the ballots this fall become very important about where the role of the convention center will be in the next couple of years.
So do you think that if voters, they go to the ballot box this fall, they're thinking about the stadium and that convention center, the Convadium as it's been called, that this is going to play a big role?
I think it's going to be up to the proponents of those ballot measures to link that. I think one of the big problems, because they're discrete events, even though the All-Star Game is once every 10 year or a Super Bowl is once every 10 years, this is an annual event, but it's only 4 or 5 days. So in the collective, consciousness of San Diego voters, that may not be top of mind come November. So it's really going to be up to those folks that are really supporting those ballot measures to link these activities and talk about the importance of that, not just, building a stadium, but how this whole Convadium type of concept is going to be important to the future of San Diego.
I know this is one of the complaints people have about it raising the hotel tax. That's for tourists, and they're afraid that a lot of tourists may not want to pay the extra money.
That's if I would suspect that the Convention Visitors Bureau would potentially do some research to indicate whether that will be a major roadblock. I think at the end of the day, San Diego, and the All-Star Game last week really was a showcase. Not only was it perfect weather, the execution across the board was flawless, and not only did you get visitors from all over the country come to the All-Star Game, but from the region. So from Los Angeles, Orange County, Riverside counties came in for the family festivities. So you do get the benefit of the hotel taxes, but you get all the economic activity from broader area visitors. So that becomes very important to have that expanded facility. And those people who actually come for the Comic-Con, for example, it's not going to be as big an issue because no matter what, there's hotel taxes in Anaheim or LA or other places that might be considering, trying to bid for Comic-Con in the future.
Does San Diego do a good enough job marketing itself around the country for tourism?
I think it's a little bit, last year San Diego, because of the budget issues with Mayor Filner at one point, we missed the whole marketing of San Diego 2 years ago. The Convention and Visitor Bureau budget was not approved. None of the normal campaigning that's done occurred. I think San Diego, because of its uniqueness, tends to market itself very much around great sunshine, great weather, but we really are a unique destination, and I think we can always think of ways to improve our marketing. But I think so far, given the trends of tourists over the last 2 years, marketing marketing has been very effective.
Miro Copic with San Diego State. Miro, thank you so much for your time. I really do